The Russell Brand Strip Show Part 2. Who am I to strip the Russell? No one at all. Just a strange man who enjoys stripping men. Ahem. I mean, analyzing speech and text with good questions, and by exposing hidden ironies, contradictions, incoherencies, and revealing patterns. I strip the masks off fake intelligence and pretended honesty. But Russell Brand was a difficult case. He's a fast talker. He talked so damn fast, I had to listen to him at half speed. At half speed, I began to realize he is another agent of the Babylon. Not the Babylon, but the Babble-on mind-messing cult. I confess I listened to his spiel spell. This is why I believe in God, available on YouTube. Let's have a listen, shall we?
I've recently become a Christian. That don't mean you have to become a Christian. I mean, it's working for me pretty well. I feel an incredible relief in this nihilistic time, bereft of all meaning, filled with corruption and loss, with no virtue except for that which is signaled with.
Wow, what a barrage of words. You can't slip a thought in between them. But maybe that is the whole purpose. Slow down a little, Russell. Break your neck.
With no principles except for those that can be utilized. The idea that the creator of the simulation stepped inside the simulation himself to show us how we might live, to redeem us, to offer himself in sacrifice, to me seems incredible. But where is the historical, empirical, scientific evidence for it? Well, it seems that the Shroud of Turin, at least, may be legitimate. Now, religion is.
Maybe. I like that. Yeah, he's qualifying his support for the Shroud of Turin. Hmm, very nice of him. Um, he does say maybe more than once in this video that we live in a nihilistic world without meaning. To which I say, really? Without meaning? Shopping has meaning for most people. Religion has meaning for most people still. And money still has meaning for most people. What's he talking about? Oh, he made a joke. He's being ironic. He knows his words have no meaning, so his world has no meaning. I get it. Actually, I object to using the word meaning to mean purpose or morality or fulfillment. If you want the meaning of life, please consult the dictionary. If you need a purpose, join me in serving nature and life by teaching others to think clearly and detect Babble-on when they hear it. Let's listen to a little more Russell the Ruse.
The idea that there is a God, that there is a creator, these are things that will be difficult to empirically demonstrate in the same way that it's difficult to empirically demonstrate that there was nothing at all preceding the Big Bang.
It's an interesting argument. A little subtle, perhaps. The Big Bang. Yeah, he would know lots about Big Bangs. The man who won the Shagger of the Year award 3 consecutive years. Well, Brand admits that he accepts religion on faith and rightfully adds that we also accept the Big Bang theory on faith, even though it is only a theory, not a fact. But this is a case of false reasoning. The fact that we believe scientific theories are facts on faith alone, faith in scientists, is not a reason we should believe religious superstitions on faith alone.
Or that primordial atomic morasses somehow became conscious eventually as a result of heat or light or whatever other agent must have induced biology from mere inert matter. Sooner or later, faith will be required for all of us, and perhaps a faith that encourages us to be kind.
Maybe, Russell, maybe there are some things we don't need to believe. We can just dispense with them. The theory of evolution or uh, intelligent design, these ideas do not benefit us in any way. They are not useful to us. Uh, Perhaps only useful as distractions and trivia, entertainment for people who can't find better forms of entertainment.
And service and sacrifice and in a living God that is among us and that wants to raise us out from the hell of modern life might be more valuable to us than whatever you're being offered on your corrupt propaganda, devil's lantern, hellhole machines, whether they are handheld screens or old-fashioned TV. Let's have a look.
Handheld screens or old-fashioned TV. Wow, poetry in motion. Well, let me quote him, uh, repeat what he just said. I think there's some irony there. I think you'll find it somewhat delightful. Brand has just said, whatever you're being offered on your corrupt propaganda, devil's land, and hellhole machines, whether they are handheld screens or old-fashioned TVs. Isn't that ironic? He is on our screens. He won't let go of our screens. He's there posting something every day. And what's he doing? Well, he's generalizing. Obviously, some things on our screens are useful and beneficial. Perhaps not very much. Doubtlessly not much. All right, he's going to share some more info about the Shroud of Turin. Um, I would like to pull the shroud off the old myth, but I don't think many people care much about the shroud. So let's skip it. Don't know why he wasted our time with it.
Iconography and idolatry are fascinating areas.
Oops, I lost one word. Excuse me.
Iconography and idolatry.
Fetish, iconography, and idolatry. These are the words he uses to describe people's interest in the Shroud of Turin. That's a little harsh for a Christian to be speaking about the empirical evidence he wishes to present to us. He does admit later that, well, even if the Shroud of Turin is 2,000 years old, pretty hard to prove that it was wrapped around a man named Jesus Christ. No, we don't have his DNA, if such things even exist, as if they even exist. So this man is very slippery. Yes, he wants to present some empirical evidence. No, he admits it's never really empirical evidence. What a funny presentation.
Are fascinating areas in themselves, even if you can carbon date that artifact back to Nazareth 0 AD, then it still doesn't, of course, prove that it's literally Jesus Christ. Neither does it prove that Jesus Christ was the Son of God. In fact, those things by their nature are difficult to demonstrate, but since becoming Christian, I've read a great deal more that leads me to believe personally that Christ was a historical figure and also is the living, risen Son of God. Now,
Wow, he's read some things that have persuaded him. Oh, please do tell the names of these books. I assume none of them are titled The Criminal Bible. That's my own little contribution to the discussion. It's probably too complicated for this genius. Um, and not to his liking. No, no. It's very analytical. You won't find anything else like it. The Criminal Bible does a great deal of verse by verse analysis. Um, but let me not toot my own horn too much. Let's continue with this little comedy.
results for, but some of the results that I can offer you are these. I no longer feel I live in a disgusting, meaningless, hollow, empty world.
Wow. So his new empirical evidence is that he feels better. That's enough proof that Jesus is real, God exists. Here's a curious argument for us. I'm sure he felt quite good too when he was a drug addict for some time. And supposedly he was a drug addict. I'm not convinced on that matter. Seems like part of a nice tall tale by which to win the pity and support of the viewers. Um, well, he is correct. We don't really need empirical evidence, do we? Not of the sort presented by the Shroud of Turin. But I'll tell you what I'm sorry, what empirical evidence we should demand before converting. We should demand evidence that Jesus taught people to think and to care, dare I say, to love. I don't remember his disciples demonstrating much love, nor him. And let's review his life for signs of love. First, Jesus, expressed not one thought about slavery, war, usury, and other vices of the Roman Empire. Zero critical thinking about the empire. Plenty of critical thinking about the Jewish authorities, plenty of accusations, but, well, it's all fantasy anyway, as I demonstrate, as I argue with endless evidence in the counterfeit classics. The Roman Empire didn't exist. Sorry about that. For all those who devoted their lives to studying and admiring the Roman Empire, wake up and ask some critical questions. Um, as for Jesus and his alleged love, besides words and miracles, what did he give people? His words are potentially empty without actions, and the only actions he performed were miracles. But he did not teach us how to perform miracles, so he did not teach us how to love. I don't remember him playing with children, uh, carrying other people's crosses. I speak metaphorically, perhaps. Let's skip ahead to, well, we're already ahead.
Controlled by dark forces that see me only as a consumer, that I live in a nihilistic and meaningless universe that only sees me as valuable if I am a commodity, that sees meaning and reason and virtue all as commodities that can be shifted and moved around.
Interesting. Please bear with me as I replay a little of this spiel.
Are these. I no longer feel I live in a disgusting, meaningless, hollow, empty.
Wow, that he lived in, I don't know, where did he live? Ah, yes, yes, yes. England, England. Get out of England. Come south. And get out of the city. I think you're in one.
World controlled by dark forces that see me only as a consumer.
Only as a consumer. Well, the antithesis, the opposite of that would be to be seen as a consumable. Is that what you would like? No longer to be seen as a consumer. You prefer to be seen as a consumable. Well, maybe that's how he sees us also.
In a nihilistic and meaningless universe that only sees me as valuable if I am a commodity.
A commodity. There's an interesting word. Um, First, let's remember we were only consumers and now we are commodities. What are commodities? I think the root of the word is related to the Latin word comer, to eat. We're back to being consumables. Yeah, you may know that I have a few things to say about cannibalism and the ruling class. I say no more at present on that subject.
That sees reason and virtue all as commodities that can be shifted and moved around according to the convenience of the powerful. It has reconnected me to the idea of sanctity and the sacred. And I'm fascinated, of course, by figures like Richard Dawkins, who I hope to be debating soon on
Richard Dawkins, please, not him. Um, Richard, another shallow atheist, new atheist, fake scientist, pro-imperialist. What did he have to say about all the fake medicine in our world? Nada. Richard Dawkins. Um, a little more Rand. Brand.
these very matters. It's interesting to see them say that they are culturally Christian, or even as great a mind as Elon Musk saying that Christians.
Did I hear that correctly? As great a mind as Elon Musk. What universe does this man live in? A parallel one.
It says, by their fruits shall we know them. If
Excellent. He knows. He knows the Bible, at least that verse. Um, by their fruits you shall know them. Let's, word, I haven't comment on that somewhere. This man flies so fast, I'm losing track of my notes. Okay, by their fruit you shall know them. Nice quotation. It raises an interesting question. Did Russell Brand create any fruit? Any good fruit? Anything beautiful? Hmm. He produced no children. I don't know. Does he write good books? He sells products he did not make. We'll have a look at that in a moment. We need to go back a bit. I can't believe how fast this man moves. His mouth. Just can't keep up with him.
Finding a sanctity and the sacred. And I'm fascinated, of course, by figures like Richard Dawkins, who I hope to be debating soon on these very matters. It's interesting to see them say that they are culturally Christian, or even as great a mind as Elon Musk saying that Christian culture is powerful. Indeed, in the Bible it says, by their fruits shall...
Well, I have notes and I will deal with them. I will share them. Richard Dawkins, another shallow atheist, feels like the right thing to do. He does say that is not a good enough reason to do good things, because some people will say committing crimes feel like the right thing to do. So feelings can be used to justify just about anything. Therefore, he insists that we need the higher idea of God or Jesus. They alone provide a moral basis for our world. Ironically, God or Jesus did not condemn centralizing power, did not condemn fractional reserve banking. Did not condemn much. Did he condemn adultery? I wouldn't care if he did, I suppose. At one point in this spiel, Russell Brand mentions that no less a mind than Nietzsche believed that if people stopped believing in God, worshiping God, they would worship everything. Where does this man come find the justification in quoting Nietzsche, who considered himself something of an antichrist? I thought Russell was firmly planted in the Bible, not in Friedrich Nietzsche's works. I believe they're incompatible, unless, of course, he knows they are written by the same criminal cabal, members of that cabal. At another point in this spiel, he says, the culture you live in induces bewilderment and confusion. That is also ironic because he damn well knows he is also inducing bewilderment and confusion. Well, yes. Are there other foundations, other reasons for caring and loving others? I have no faith in any god, priest, Buddha, or charlatan, but I might think I can say I love all good people. Not for a quick shag. Love might be more than that. Um, all right. I think that takes care of most of Russell's spiel in This Is Why I Believe in God. But let's take it to the moment he introduces his product.
If what something produces is beautiful, then we know that that thing is beautiful. And many brilliant Christian theists and scholars are able to demonstrate, for example, that if you believe in women's rights or the various rights of human beings, let's just take human rights as a broad concept, you at some point have to acknowledge that there is something either sacred or special about human beings. You have to acknowledge that. You have to acknowledge that there is some reason why we should treat each other with love and respect. And I'll go a little further.
Is there a reason for it? Yeah, it feels good. There are benefits. But somehow that's not enough. This man is beyond feelings.
I say I treat people with love and respect, it feels like the right thing to do. It feels like the right thing to do. Well, on that basis, if people feel like it's
Yeah, well, some people are screwed up, aren't they? They feel like killing and robbing and lying to our faces is fine. Well, yes, that's also a sort of feeling, isn't it? But so what's important here is to perhaps develop a conscience. And how do we do that? By developing our minds, by developing our imagination, our ability to identify with other people. Not sure Russell is capable of that. He likes to identify with Jesus, or at least pretend he's a Jesus figure. He changes his roles as he likes, identifies with different roles, does not identify with you and me.
right thing to do. If they feel like it's the right thing to do to centralize power, to globalize power, to say that there's no such thing as God and there's no such thing as nature.
Well, as I said, the Bible doesn't have anything, any commandment forbidding centralization of power. Jesus had nothing to say on the matter and nothing positive to say about nature. A minor oversight, I suppose.
Apex of being in existence is the human mind, and if we want to reorganize our lives and reorganize our bodies and reorganize our systems according to the rational will of the most powerful people, there is no higher idea that prevents us from doing that. We are
The most powerful people. Buddy, you have 6.7 million subscriber. Methinks you have some power behind you.
creatures created by some omnipotent, omniscient force. No, we are ourselves the vanguard of all being, and it's for a reason that we will reorder our lives and the universe. Indeed, it's been stated by no less a mind than Nietzsche that if man worships nothing, they'll ultimately end up worshiping.
As I said,
Dead, and nothing we do can wash the blood off that.
God is dead. Yes, yes, yes. But still, you want to quote him, you clown.
These are rational and material things. That was his perspective on this, and my perspective is this one. Whilst you may never be able to scientifically prove the existence of Jesus Christ, there are other metrics and measures via which we receive information. Deep within yourself, there is a great power, and you will note how often the culture you live in induces bewilderment and confusion. It is by its nature somewhat diabolical.
Bewilderment and confusion. How can you not be bewildered listening to this flood of rhetoric? What a spellcaster this man is.
Why is this way? And these questions seem to you, don't they, unanswerable? Well, perhaps that's because the world has been captured by a force of darkness. Perhaps that's
A force of darkness, indeed. No one can shine any light through your words because they're flying so fast.
bewildered. And annihilation is the process of creating nihilism, meaninglessness. And if there is no meaning, why not have an Olympic ceremony that's about desecration? And if there is no meaning, why not allow people to spill on the streets and treat the planet itself like it's a toilet? Why not? Nothing me.
Indeed. Why not? I wonder,
There's no true virtue. There are.
where is the beauty? Well, I wish you would take a walk in the wilderness once in a while, or maybe write a poem for us, make a beautiful child. Nope. Don't hold your breath.
Scientific existence of Jesus Christ would be a step towards that, but the faith-based belief in Jesus Christ is the arrival at that destination, and that's something at least that I can testify to honestly, for I have experienced it. But as I say, that's just what I think. Let me know what you think in the comments and the chat. Remember to like and subscribe and to follow our content wherever we create it. What do you look? What? Actually, snacks are available from Rumble. Rumble make these.
You rumble.
Snacks, you see. This is a brand called Positives Pet Food.
He's going to push pet food. He loves pets. Or does he? Well, you can love as much as you want. If you don't understand your pets, your love might kill them. But one moment, and I will share the website of this pet food seller.
But also they have a pet insurance that is an affiliate to it. You know, like
Yes. Let's buy pet insurance. And while we're at it, let's buy some marriage insurance. How about that? Faith insurance, pet insurance. Good Lord. Now an insurance salesman for pets. But as I said, I was going to share the site of that pet food provider. You'll be much amused, as I was, I hope. Oh, where are you? Okay. It's right there. Yes, the wellness company, Rossitive. Positive, sorry. Positive is the brand. The Russell brand. What do they sell? High luxury pet food. Luxury, highly processed pet food. The turmeric twist. Beetroot berry, blueberry bliss. And yes, this pet food is 100% human grade ingredients. Apparently, some people don't understand that neither humans nor dogs should eat processed foods, and dogs should not eat blueberries. Is there any meat in any of these bags? I, I believe not. You want your pet dog or cat to be happy, give them raw meat. What do you think felines and canines eat in the wilderness? Do you think domestication suddenly uh, you've transformed them into creatures that must eat processed and cooked food? I think not. Curiously, these bags do not tell you how much is in them. Is it 100 grams, 300 or 700 grams? Who cares? I suppose. Um, we'll take care of Joe another time. Um, let's for anyone who's wondering about the background I chose today, it is an interesting one. You may notice that someone's feet, three men, appeared to be perched on disembodied, beheaded children, some very chubby children too. Well, this is from it's a close-up of a famous painting. I believe it's famous. I found a copy in a local, not so local, but a Mexican church. Yeah, keep your eyes open for anything odd, and don't be surprised when you notice many odd things in your churches. don't be afraid to ask questions wherever you are. It's one of the 9 modes of thinking. And without that, without thinking, there ain't much hope for us. Well, more to come later. Everyone, take care. Love those who are lovable and be good.